welcome to Yo Pops podcast with me, Sean Williams, and my dad.
Peace
And love, and
Yes.
all of the good blessings,
good blessings.
that is there available for us
Everybody needs
in
it.
heavenly places.
Yes, and earthly ones as well.
Yeah. But we hope the heavenly ones come to earth.
Coming to the earth.
That's the one.
And
right?
the earthly one going up to the heavens.
Yes, they are indeed. How are you, Dad?
I'm good.
How has your day been?
My day was good.
Wait there. I've done something very bad. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Guys, please remember to like, subscribe, and share to the podcast. Obviously, we're also setting up our Patreon content as well. So jump into that. You'll love it, honestly. It's lots more of this and kind of the candid bits that you just like to watch, that we all scroll and scroll and scroll. So yeah, like, subscribe, share, pass along, tell somebody to tell everybody about Yo Pops, the podcast. Now, back to our regular scheduled program.
Indeed.
Dad, how was your day?
My day was excellent.
Good. Is that it?
Yes.
Is that the short, concise version?
Indeed.
That's all good. I'm glad, especially with the weather kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it was warm. It started out perfectly this morning, but as the day progresses, it gets very much hotter.
Yeah.
So I played accordingly.
And you just.
So it was good.
But you got to see some family, friends, and to hang out a little bit. How was that?
That was good. That was
Nostalgic?
That's what took us back a bit. Yeah.
Did it?
Yes, because I said some 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was great. They were in Cambridge visiting.
Okay.
And they shot us. So
Love that.
myself and mother went and see them.
What was the best part about it?
Meeting up with them and the potential that now if I want to go to Germany,
You've got
I've got contacts.
Germany.
Yeah.
Germany is a great city. I haven't been myself, actually, funnily enough.
Okay.
I don't think, have I been to Germany? No, I don't think I have been to Germany. But yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yes, I've always wanted to go there, but I never trust myself with the language.
Really?
So, no. So I needed to have somebody who understands the language.
But I think a lot of places like the big cities, they'll speak English. Or do you want to get into the language?
No, I mean, I don't mind where, but just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, just
make sure that
you don't say anything.
I can order something nice and they don't think
it's something else.
It's something else.
I get it. That's smart.
Because some languages are very dodgy.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you can say something and it means
something completely
very
different, and you're in a whole bit of bother. And all you wanted to do was just order a coffee.
That is right.
Or ask them where the toilet was.
Indeed.
And it's turned into an international situation. But Dad, earlier today, actually, I was teaching my day. And it was very funny because I've got a new group of students in through this program that's been run during the summer. And I was asking them all about something that they're looking forward to this week.
Right.
And something that they want to improve. And everything that they had to say about what they were looking forward to consisted of it being around other people, meeting new people, and not feeling kind of self-conscious because they're on their own.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you the question, we're more connected digitally, but less connected personally. Why? And how has it got to this?
I think what it is, well, number one, the age we're living in, very much a digital age, and the generation that we're living in are very, very technical and digitally orientated.
Yeah.
And people that are more interactive because of both culture as well as their age, tends to be, going out. And the generation, especially the last two generations, very, very much entrenched in the digital system.
Yeah.
And as a result, a lot of people have lost their interpersonal skills and just sort of happy to, be working away with their fingers and being isolated and all of that.
They can say more on a keyboard than they can in real life, right?
Absolutely. And it, on one hand, it gives them a certain courage
Yeah.
Because they're by themselves saying things, and nobody gonna reach across and
Grab them.
grab them by
Right.
by the neck. You know what I'm saying? So they feel safe to do that. However, the downside to that is that, as I said, people are gradually losing that interactiveness.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it more and more, even when you're driving in cars or sitting in restaurants and all of that.
Everybody's on the device.
Exactly. And it's kind of disturbing, if I'm going to be honest, because you see wife and husband, boyfriend and girlfriend, even friends, sitting together, and everybody's their heads down and laughing with their phone while their partner, the person they're with, sometimes they're doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're thinking, looking around, thinking, well, great.
I'm out here on my own.
Absolutely.
I should have come by myself. Do you know what?
Indeed.
Dad, I had this experience on the train the other day, and there were these two boys that had got on, and you could tell that they were lively, right? So I think sometimes you sit in a space where you're like, okay, you may have to intervene if anything silly happens or anything like that, right? Because you could tell that they were completely in their own space. Now, don't look so alarmed. Everything's okay. I promise you. But they sat at this table, Dad, and they got their phones out, and it must have been TikTok they were on.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, their phones were as loud as your phone is when it rings. You know when your phone rings, and I look at you sometimes like, Dad, just like put it on silent.
Why are you associating me with some folks you meet on the train with loud phone? What does that have to do with?
Because you've both got the loud phone thing in common. You've both got the loud phone thing in common. Dad, they were listening to this TikTok so loud and just scrolling. And you'd only, if they liked what they were watching, they may stay on it for 5 seconds. If they didn't like it, they'd switch over in like a second or 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. And at first I'm sitting there and I'm kind of getting frustrated for myself and the other passengers because I'm just like, what are they doing? And then it's almost like my teacher head took over and I was like, no, observe the situation, right? Mm-hmm. They had this portable fan with them and they put it on the table. And one of the boys goes to the lady who sat across from them, do you like the fan? And she was like, yeah. He's like, do you want some more? And I sat and I went, okay, this isn't what I was thinking, right? Because you're not going to sit there and ask a stranger, are you enjoying the fan, right? On an air-conditioned train, and do you want some more? If you're not kind of trying to be okay, right? So in my head, I'm just sitting and I'm thinking to myself, Dad, they are completely oblivious of everyone else around them. Because their connection to this device means that, no, it's me and this thing.
That's right.
And I realized that he wasn't even registering the volume because that's just almost habitual. And I sat and I thought to myself, I was just like, okay, you're dealing with a generation that firstly doesn't have an attention span. Just even on the basis of how he was using the TikTok, Dad. 1 second, 2 seconds if he hated it. 5 seconds if he liked it. Now imagine me, like your friends today, you enjoy seeing them and you give them 5 seconds to talk. It's not gonna.
I'm listening.
No, I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You're looking at me really. What do you think? What are you suspicious about? What I'm saying?
I mean, all that you're saying.
Why?
I mean, number one, those guys, they're listening to their devices.
Yeah.
As loud as I do.
No, that's no. Whoa. See, and do you know what? Wow, this is the second week running that I'm having to tell you that no. What I said was, their device is as loud as your device rings.
Okay.
Right. Now, what we are going to talk about is the fact that you felt triggered by me saying that what they were listening to was as loud as how your phone rings, unless you're already sensitive that you think you might listen to your device maybe loudly. Or
oh no, I'm not.
Sure?
I'm not.
So
because if nobody don't say that it is loud, then for me, it's normal.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
But could that potentially be because if you do something consistently over a period of time, you adjust your sensitivity levels or what you would call normal?
I think it depends on where I am.
Okay.
That would normally determine how loud my equipment is.
But you definitely got triggered by that. You did, because
And-
that is not what I said or was implying at all.
No.
And your mind
No.
went straight to the fact that you were like, is he trying to say that I listen to my... Now, come on, let's be open. So, in a personal sense, I can say there have been times where I've come to see you and my mum and the TV might be a little louder than what I'd be like, okay, that's quite loud. But if you're immersed in your entertainment, then you're not worrying about the volume of the TV in your house because you're immersed in the entertainment.
Yeah. Now, let me give you another scenario.
Okay, go on.
That may just be the reason why at times it seems louder than other times.
Okay.
But now, of course, there are a lot of these films.
I love how you've hijacked my whole thread of what was going on because of your own insecurities about how loud you listen to the TV. But please, back to what I was saying before about these students and these lonely people and this digital personal age. Dad, one of the things that I was thinking about earlier was because of the nature of the program that we're running, it gives these young people a place to organically meet people, right? And it's a safe space as well. So I wanted to kind of maybe investigate and not research, but ask really in a cool way to know. When you were growing up, what were ways that you employed or you just naturally found yourself doing in order to kind of make new friends and meet new people?
I find, for me personally, I was I would be what most people call an extrovert.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I have no problem
in being out there,
interacting with people.
Got you.
I would walk into anywhere, and if I feel that somebody is having a bad day, looking moody,
you go and interact with them.
I'll go. Yes, I do, and I find that it helps people a great deal because it's not something that most people do.
Yeah.
So when you do it with the best of intention, then people find it kind of hilarious. You know what I mean? And in most cases, people does want somebody to talk to or would love to have somebody to talk to. But it's like having two people who are scared of each other without a cause. You know what I mean? So when you break that ice, as it were, then they are very excited to talk to you about whatever
is going on.
Yes, and sometimes it goes on and on and on.
Do you think that's one of the divine jobs of extroverts, to bring that joy out of, or that interaction out of introverted people?
Most cases, people do that, especially if you're balanced.
Okay.
You see, if you're balanced, then it's a great way to naturally interact with people. If you're not balanced, then it's horrible because you will do similar things, but from a negative perspective.
That's true. That's very, very true. I often sometimes think that extroverted people can either lean into a space where they're so attached to the feeling of everybody kind of watching them that they can sometimes become blind to what's right in front of them.
Absolutely.
But then you also have other extroverts who it's almost like they've got this intrinsic power, Dad. And I often think that sometimes it's divinely given within our character and our personality that they can make a person who doesn't feel comfortable, that they can see a person there and be like, okay. Without this interaction, they may kind of almost stay in their shell.
Indeed.
And then they do something that allows that person to kind of come out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because even today, I was, you could see kind of obviously the students looking, and it's day one for them. So their whole kind of mindset is like, okay, I just want to get through today and let me just kind of do what I need to do and whatnot. And I cracked this joke, and Dad, it's almost like you could feel everybody take this collective exhale.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Indeed,
Because
indeed.
it's almost like you take the air out of the pressure of the moment.
Of course, yeah.
And it turns into something, instead of something that they're afraid of or dreading, it becomes something that excites them and something that they can look forward to.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask with that, do you think the essence and basis of community has disappeared, or do you think that it's just moved to online spaces?
I wouldn't even say it's moved to online spaces, because even that is becoming contaminated.
Yeah, I hear it.
Because what is supposed to be a social environment is now becoming toxic, with either people evil ideas and notion,
Yeah,
or people who want to use it for business.
yeah,
And so it's no more really that genuine interest of meeting and interacting with people. And I think it is clearly causing problem with some of the big social media companies, because it is shifting away from what it were meant to be doing.
yeah.
You know, so yes, to a certain degree it's out there, but fast disappearing. And I think that's one of the reasons why they are constantly reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, sort of, you start off with Facebook, you move on to this one, move on to that, and new ones are popping up, as it were, to see whether or not they can get they can achieve their objectives.
But it feels like that they're on a road to nowhere with the regulatory services, because I think it's almost like once governments start regulating what you do,
Indeed.
You're then basically going to pay whatever they require in order for you to get the freedom of movement that they're never really ever going to give you again.
Right.
And it's... Dad, do you think there is a way... When I think of Facebook, right, and how revolutionary Facebook was in the social media and interacting space, I watched the film about the guy and the owner, The Social Network, and when the movie reveals the essence and the reason, the intention why he built this thing, it was for such a basic but human reason.
Right.
And then this thing explodes because people realize that it works.
Yeah.
And then you now move into the world of commerce with it, because wherever there is masses of people, there's money to be made there.
Of course.
So is it a case where that's the way the world is and people have to accept it? Or is there a solution or a way to either purify or make these things in a way that stops them from getting contaminated, Dad?
Well, it's going to be very difficult, and perhaps we won't even see it in our lifetime, on the basis that people, their intention initially might have been good, but it all turned out bad. And they feel that as long as they incentivize the public, which of course in most cases with money, they're going to have that constant pull. Now, if you remove money out of it, then you'd find a very different whole atmosphere would change, would be different. And it's about everything else. It's very much like that. From the football to the various sports.
It's so funny you say that.
You know,
Dad, it's so funny you say that, because for a couple of years now, and you know I like football quite a lot, right? And Dad, I'm fast coming to the opinion, and I don't even like the fact that I'm going to say this. there's too much money in that game for it to be okay. Once we blow the whistle at the first minute, it's going to be what it's going to be for 90 plus minutes.
Yeah.
Like that, it's way too much money. And the reason why I say that is because I look at other things that have maybe less exposure that are meddled with, if that makes sense. And I look also at even the nature of the World Cup, right? That this is the first year that they've also expanded it. And you've basically got the world powers, right? Because to every national team,
Of course,
you're connected to your government because you get your nation involved. And I sat and I thought to myself, if you were ever going to get the whole world or the powers on the global stage in one place for a period of time, what could you use, or what could be the perfect kind of foil or cover to do that? And I sat and I just thought to myself, a World Cup wouldn't be the worst. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you look at these games and you see these heads of state at these games and stuff, and you're like,
because in reality, football really lends itself to tribalism.
Yeah, massively.
And everybody's at war. But in itself is a football. Is football that is the weapon, as it were.
Yeah.
And so it appeals to people in that way, and as a result, why so much billions is flowing through the game, and it's no more playing for the fun of it and the entertainment of it.
Yeah.
And and that's why they bring in every kind of conceivable means to achieve objective, from the psychologist to the hypnosis to strategies of how. And you're asking yourself, where is that pure game that people go out there to play and have fun, not trying to break each other's foot and all of these kind of stuff. So yes, anything that money is a root of it, most time it's evil.
Do you think we've become obsessed with entertainment?
I wouldn't say that we become. I think people are still searching for genuine entertainment.
How do you mean?
Yeah, because although there is some level of entertainment, but it's nowhere near what would satisfy that inherent desire within person to interact with each other.
No, I agree with you completely, but I feel like, because and I want to be obviously honest in my own self. There'll be times when I'll find myself like scrolling, right? And I also catch myself and be like, that's needless. Because I realized I wasn't looking for anything specific. It was just, okay, I was doing it because it was there. And I think to myself that, there's a term that people call doom scrolling, where people you just endlessly, and that's what I felt like I was witnessing with those young boys on the train.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, I'm like, well, if we weren't kind of so used to being entertained, then we would, or should I say distracted? Because most of what we kind of class as entertainment really is a distraction.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And it's distraction through entertainment at times.
Yeah.
And I look at kind of where we are and what stops people from being able to, like you say, to create genuine connections. And it's almost like if it doesn't look like what they see when they scroll, then it can't be that.
Yeah. And that's perhaps part of the reason why there's so many scrolling going on, because the more people scroll is because they can't get to what they think would really genuinely grab their attention. So they look at something, I've seen that, look at something And they constantly do, because there is no one, there's not enough money put into
it, yeah.
to really creating that thing. Like when you look to take, for example, you look at a program like Downton Harvest, let's call it that.
Okay.
You see what I mean? That's like an old,
Yeah, period drama.
yes, but it's attractive because,
It's decadent.
you know, and it's filled with character, and it's, you know, you.
But also, it's escapism for people.
Well, of course it is. But in most cases, that's what is they're all designed to do. But they're losing their pull because, one, people can do things now without genuine skills and ability, because you just call them AI and other technological stuff, which can imitate, play all the roles that people play, and it's just destroying that aspect of humanity, showing, performing, showing what their skills are, and it's being fast taken over. So people are more living now in their mind rather than
that's really deep.
than actually enjoying life, as it were.
Dad, if what you just described is basically escapism 101, what is it that people are trying to escape from?
I think people are generally trying to escape from their own, what I call, unhappiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because within you is that desire that there's, you tell yourself there's more to life
Than what you're experiencing.
than what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
And when you find yourself in that situation that does not satisfy you, you want to get away from it and find yourself. And that's why perhaps things like drugs are on the rise, because it is a form of escapism.
Yeah.
It numb your consciousness of the life around you for a period of time where you're not taking seriously your bills, your responsibility, etc. So you feel okay for however long, and then once you become addicted to it, then it's that ever evolving door.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
For what you just described, would you agree or would you potentially disagree that some of how people interact with some of these social media apps, it's digital narcotics, right?
Very
because
much.
you sit and you think, okay, let's say a person that's really addicted to social media, let's say they will scroll for 2 hours, right? Let's say a person that is, I don't know, somewhere in between may scroll for half an hour. And let's say there's someone that scrolls for 5 minutes. You and I, Dad, both know that 5 minutes, half an hour, or 2 hours spent walking, reading, or even just being still and breathing is a far better and healthier choice for them, body, soul, and spirit, than sitting there and scrolling, right?
Absolutely.
But we're in a place where, like you said, the need to escape is so prevalent in people that they would rather do or take the thing that gets rid of the momentary feeling. So I guess what I'm asking is, how then do you create almost like a factory reset? I know it's a bit, and it's take a minute if you need to kind of.
No, it is something that I think is important, and it is one that sooner or later, government has to deal with it, because what most people are afraid of is pain.
Okay.
And the walking, the exercise, and all of the others are pain.
So reading is pain. Reading is pain.
Reading
is pain.
No, I'm talking about exercise.
Okay.
So
but I wasn't saying walking in terms of to exercise. I was saying more so to be like just to walk, just to move.
Yeah. So where I was going with that is that a lot of people feel that if you sit down
Yeah.
and just scroll, there's nothing. It's not up. It's not. You're not expending any kind of energy really.
Physical energy.
Hmm?
Physical energy.
Yes, and so people prefer that than doing anything, no matter how it's supposed to be leisurely. You get me? But if it means expending energy, then it's like, okay, thank you, no. And for most people, as I said, it is like narcotic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what, and I think it's a good word for it, to be honest. And people, as you look at the physical comparison, it's the same thing. That's what they do. They go into a room, they're all totally
Out of it.
and they sleep endlessly until the next time they're ready for another fix. And this is what you see happening. Now, for you to really enjoy and have a good time, again, you're going to come back to having the resources to do so, because that's how most people perceive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't, then people feel, okay, you know what? The gas bill is too much. The electricity bill is too much. The petrol is too much. Buying food is too much. So I can't afford to waste money. So I'm just going to take the route of least resistance, do anything that ain't going to cost me much. And I think that's where a lot of people is going. And it is a real problem, because the have-not is looking on the haves and saying, why should they have and we don't? Even though they take no consideration that they are working it, by whatever means they do. But this is what I call the problem that the world is now facing, both with the young, middle-aged, old, and everybody alike.
Yeah.
They're going through this crisis, because it is a crisis when you start to think of it. 1 million young people out of a job that is serious crisis.
It does feel like it's moving to like a crescendo.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that. It's almost like you ever seen when you got someone pushing against a wall that is coming, and it's like no matter how much you push,
it's still coming.
It's still coming, and you get to a place where I think people, you just stop pushing and you kind of become resigned.
Yeah, and that is the very reason why, even like in our country, as so with others, we are exchanging so many prime ministers, because what they promise, they're just not able to fulfill.
Deliver.
And people are just not patient enough to say, okay, look, we're going to wait until you get it right. Even if down the road it looks like it was coming, good, but they say, no, we want it now, because our needs are now, and the anxiety, and that's gonna be the real problem. Many years ago, it would be depression. For going forward is anxiety. Because people are looking at the now and realizing, okay, their jobs are disappearing
at a rate of
incredible rate. What most people can do with the touch of a few buttons, you can do far better. And so where does that leave that individual? And that is where I think for those who have knowledge of certain things, which is a very few percentage, it is really, they're the one who are going to be the social millionaires and all the others, while the other 90% is thinking, okay, where do we go? From here, how are we going to feed our family? How are we going to? And so it fits perfectly into a control mechanism. That by the time the world realizes
it's done. It's
too late.
They've wrapped you up and tied the bow and shipped you off. Dad, I've never felt like the only time I can compare what I've lived to is what I've lived, right? So I don't know a time before that. But what I maybe can speak to is generationally. I've never seen a generation of people look and feel so invaluable.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, very much.
To the point where the things that we'll see people do for attention,
Yes.
acclaim, representation,
Yeah.
it's a smarter business move to take a toxic personality, character, or societal trait, project it to the masses, Dad, right? And it will shoot you further, faster, quicker
Yeah.
than if you are consistent. If the essence and the intention of what you're doing is pure and it comes from solid foundation. And it's like, I don't know, Dad, it almost just, it feels like with the evolution of this digital age that people have stopped seeing themselves as people and they see them in terms of how they're projected, right? In what they have, in their job, in how they maybe present themselves. And you sit and you think to yourself that even when we were talking about the escapism, that the one thing that they lose at a rate of knots that they probably don't realize, and we all don't realize because we all kind of fall into it at times, is the most important commodity that we've been given to manage whilst we're here, Dad, which is time. That was the big thing when I saw those boys on the train, and then I was kind of like, okay, this isn't what you were making it. Like, this is like, when you actually objectively look at them, you're just looking at people or young children that have been allowed to be conditioned into a way where they're not even aware of what's going on around them. And this is just their protocols and their desensitization based on what they know.
Indeed.
And they have an excuse, Dad, right? Because their whole generation's doing it. I'm watching them come on, I can kind of imagine what their summer's been like already.
Yeah, of course.
I then look at myself and I'm like, so then what's your excuse? And then I look at myself and I'm like, yeah, I don't really have one, to be completely honest. And then that's when, obviously, like I was saying to you, the conversation about time becomes so important. And I don't know, it's,
what I find with what has gone on is that what people felt was a solution to their then problem.
Yeah, that's a good word.
They
then
create this monster that they have lost control of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you take, for instance, in the earlies, you see from people counting on their fingers, 2 plus 2 equals 4, to the calculators, to the more sophisticated calculators, and eventually the computer, to the point where you carry it around in your hands.
Yeah.
Now, it was okay for a while at school because you were seen as achieving and you were going somewhere when you walk into your classroom with your, digital calculator, etc. Now, to the point where the teachers are saying, well, hang on here. The kids are smarter than we. Yeah. Because before we can teach them something, a couple of finger on their thing, they got the answers and more than what the teacher has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they come up with, okay, how are we going to stop it? How are we going to, deal with the situation that before the teacher, give them something, okay, go and write me an essay on A, B, C, and D. And, they take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's done. And they're gone out to do what they want to do.
It's true.
And so the school are realizing, and, it's something I heard from a professor of Harvard, and he said that, within 3 minutes, the computer can write a complete thesis in psychology.
Yeah.
Better than he could. So they then suddenly begin to blame the kids and for their blunders, say, oh, the kids are spending too much time on the thing. But the truth is that because they're outsmarting the teachers, and the teachers' job are becoming almost obsolete, because what are you going to tell them when they can, in a couple of seconds, have it all laid out, complete, laid out?
Dad, even what you were saying, I was just listening and thinking to myself, the teachers are at a complete disadvantage because this generation of student has been bred to co-efficiently work with technology.
Of course.
Right? Now, a lot of teachers, essentially my age, around my age and stage of life, they'll be technologically savvy to a certain degree. Me personally, Dad, I'm terrible, as you know, with technology. Until I can kind of get my head around the thing I want to use. I've just not been expansive with it. But I will sit and I'd look at most of my peers. I'm like, okay, cool. They can get their way around a computer, but you're looking at, like you said, a generation that has been taught how the thing works, that they can code.
Oh, goodness me,
right?
yeah.
Like if you sat there and said, oh, okay, let me show you coding, I'd be like, this is gibberish. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Indeed.
And so it's almost like historically, and I've even spoken about it on the podcast, that I had some fantastic teachers at school that shaped how I learned and how I thought. And some of those principles I even still think about now.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I feel like a lot of this, like the AI, the artificial intelligence, like stuff, the ChatGPT and whatnot, it holds a primary cornerstone in the development of a young person in contempt. Because a teacher is more than just information.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed, yeah.
They're a person that you respect. They're also a person that models things to you outside of the context of the information that they're giving you in that moment.
Yeah, and it is that moral order, I think, that is posing the biggest problem, because with all of what people learn and know, it doesn't necessarily teach them morality.
No, it doesn't. In fact, it desensitizes them to it.
Absolutely. And of course, you have another case where liberalism is fighting morality. So it's like a attack coming from different.
That's what I mean. It feels like a crescendo, Dad.
Indeed.
That it's just kind of coming to this head-on collision, like unstoppable force meets immovable objects. You know. So, Dad, we're going to kind of break there for today. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us. Please like, subscribe, and share. Also, pass this on to someone. Pass this on. Also, get in the comments and stuff. Please join us on Patreon. We've got some wonderful things to be able to give you. So for myself, take it easy, be good. And for my dad,
stay blessed.
All right, guys. See you next time.